Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And if you're one of our regular viewers who's already subscribed, I thank you for your support. But if you're a regular viewer who has yet to subscribe, I would like to say that today would be a really good day to just hit that subscribe button. And if you're not a regular viewer, well, do try to become one. We really need the support. The channel is growing and it's all down to you, so thank you very much. But let's help make that voice just a little bit louder as we shout at the world. Thanks. Now, today's story is about the police, yet again, because we all know they're not your friends. But how unfriendly are they? Well, a new report shows that the solving of crimes has reached an absolute nadir. It is the lowest rate ever since records began. Meanwhile, the wokery is high. Police will not actually do their jobs in case they offend people. It's woeful. Let's have a look at this report. So, UK crime rate at record high. Woke police are solving a smaller proportion of it than ever. And there's a picture of our woke police, too busy dicking around at a pride festival to do their actual job. Why? Why do they not want to do their job? Why do they think that going to pride marches and virtue signalling how wonderful they are is more important than catching criminals? Who knows? We only have to look at all the victims of crime that are sitting there wondering what the hell the police are doing. Anyway, recorded crimes in England and Wales have reached their highest ever level, while the proportion of crime being solved by their increasingly woke police forces has dipped to its lowest level ever. Some 6.5 million offences were recorded in the two home nations of the United Kingdom, England and Wales, because Scotland and Northern Ireland keep their own statistics, with a mere 5.4% of them resulting in a charge. Only in a charge, not even a conviction, to the year to June, according to the Daily Telegraph. This is a fall from an already depressingly low level of 6.5% in 2021, and a huge drop from the also not particularly impressive level of 15.5% when comparable statistics began to be recorded 7 years ago. You have got basically a 1 in 20 chance of a crime resulting in a charge. And some of these crimes are serious. S offences have increased more than any other category of recorded crime, rising by 21% to fully 196,889. Nearly 200,000 S offences, with just 1.5% of Rs and 3.1% of other SOs ending in charges being brought. Half the problem here is the police don't want to investigate a growing area of abuse, which is among the trans community. It's too much bother for them. They're seen as targeting. And yet prison figures show that trans prisoners are overrepresented by 3.5 times over the background level for S offences. Naturally, not every charge brought results in a successful prosecution, so the true picture with respect to crimes ending in a criminal being convicted will be way worse than even the above figures suggest. No, it's woeful. It's only about 1 in 4. After charging, only about 1 in 4 get convictions. That means you're down to about 1% of all crimes being actually convicted of a crime. Police representatives have long blamed funding cuts for such failures. Well, that's a load of shit. And we know it's a load of shit because we see with our own eyes all the wokery and wankery that police forces are doing. They're arresting people for expressing opinions, wasting 5, 6, 7 man days of work trying to prosecute some old sod who said something that somebody didn't like. Meanwhile, they're not investigating burglaries, muggings, M's, R's, all the other stuff. But hey, you know, you say the wrong thing or have wrong think and you'll get 5 or 6 officers turning up at your door. And that's the ones that aren't actually currently on gender study courses or on colour awareness courses or marching in a gay pride. Because that's all the police do these days, is virtue signal their fucking wokery. They won't actually catch a criminal. But anyway, there is a growing public perception that their poor performance is also linked to their apparent lack of interest in solving crimes like burglaries, while wasting time enforcing political correctness through such actions as arresting A priest's wife for offending a transgender person online. Yeah, and I've done the video on that. They came into a house, no warrant. They broke into a house, arrested her, took her down to the station, kept her there, read the Riot Act, etc. And then it was pointed out by a solicitor that no crime had been broken. The police had to apologise to her. She's taking this further, I believe, and I do hope so, because apparently now wrong think and wrong speak are far, far worse crimes than just about anything else. I mean, hey, are a child, that's fine. Think about, a trans person being misgendered. Oh no, you are going to be in trouble then. That's the police. Do 31 in a 30 zone. Oh, we'll have you, Buster. Break into an old person's home and batter them when you steal their telly. Yeah, don't worry about that, son, on your way. That's the police. That is the police and what they're doing. There's a recognition that police should be doing more to investigate crimes like burglary because of its impact on victims, and there is a growing recognition that this has gone far enough and police have to focus on getting the detection rates up, claimed Police Foundation Director Rick Muir in comments on the crime statistics quoted by The Telegraph. Although it remains to be seen whether concrete action will follow, it won't, which tends to roll around every time the latest round of embarrassing figures are published. So every year we hear these figures come out, we hear the police go, oh yes, something must be done, we'll get this, we'll tackle these crimes, and meanwhile what they do is a great big pile of sweet fuck all, except they make the right noises and then they go back and arrest people for wrong think, or they'll arrest someone for saying something online that might have been offensive to somebody. Nobody's actually complained, but it may at some point may offend someone's sensibilities. Here's the thing, being offensive is not a crime, right? Because if being offensive was a crime, there wouldn't be anyone on the streets. Every mother one of us would be in prison. And also, I'd arrest the chief of police. His lack of action is offensive. I'd arrest every politician. I find every one of them offensive. This is the trouble. They bring these stupid laws in. Oh, it's a non-crime hate incident. No, it isn't. It's called a freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, and right to express. So get on your boat and piss off, you wankers. People were promised more police officers. They voted for more police, and they are paying for more police, and yet they don't see or feel any benefit, added Rory Geoghegan, a former policeman who served as Boris Johnson's special advisor on criminal justice when he was Prime Minister. Politicians must hold police chiefs to account for addressing these mainstream concerns, rather than allowing them to fixate on pronouns, privilege and identity politics, Geoghegan added. Although when he and Johnson were in 10 Downing Street, there was no action on this whatsoever beyond some occasional empty talk, while the PM and Home Secretary pursued such initiatives as a bill outlawing so-called online harms, highly likely to increase rather than reduce the authorities' fixation on offences against woke sensibilities and literal non-crimes. That's the problem. And we need to get these police chiefs, and you need to sort them and get them in a room and tell them, you have a successful conviction in 20% of all the crimes in your region, or you're gone. You go, you lose your job, and you lose your pension. You lose everything. And I guarantee then, you won't see a fucking policeman in a woke march. You won't see a policeman at a gay pride march. You won't see a policeman investigating online insults. You won't see a policeman going, did you call that trans person a he, sir? Did you misgender him, sir? You won't see any of that shit. But I tell you what you will see. You'll see burglaries being investigated. You'll see muggings being investigated. You'll see early morning raids on drug dealers' houses. You'll see these bastards march into jail as quick as you like, because when those bastards up at the top of the police are sitting there looking at their jobs going and their damn pensions disappearing, let me tell you, the world will fucking change then. These lazy bastards, they won't do their job, but tell you what, you misgender someone, they'll be knocking on your door. There'll be 6 of them and 2 police cars, because you misgendered someone. That's what's happened. And how do we know this happens? We've seen it time and time again. I've done 2, 3, 4 videos on people getting policemen, and not just 1 or 2. In one case, nearly a dozen policemen at his door because of online hate, as they called it. Turned out he was having an argument and described someone as one thing, and it was taken, but that's so offensive and an insult. Tough shit! Insults aren't illegal. And that's what's happening. And anyway, it's driving me mad. I'm getting angry. Right, I'm coming up. We are truly through the looking glass when we have a police force that is totally incapable of policing. It cannot solve crime. It cannot maintain order. You only have to look at these bastards down in London gluing themselves to roads, gluing themselves to artworks, pouring paint over, private property, and the police aren't arresting them for criminal damage or anything like that, or obstruction. No, they're letting them get on with it, and then they're saying to people, "Oh, don't interfere! Don't you do our job? Don't you do our job? You make us look bad." Well, tough shit. If you can't do your job, people are going to do it for you. And let me tell you, I've got a video on that coming next about the people of this country doing the police's job, because the police are incapable or unwilling to do the job they're paid for. And that's fine. All we need to do is stop paying them. Let's see the world change then. If we tell policemen, you ain't doing your job, you ain't getting paid, let's just get rid of the police and just let people be vigilant on their own. You have to be very careful about what I say there, because certain words. But let's just say that if people were policing themselves, they'd do a far better job of it. Because it's pointless having a police force if they're totally incapable of policing. Anyway, I'm going to round off there. Thank you very much. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please. Share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Don't ever ask a policeman to do anything for you. And goodbye.